On today's episode of the South Texas Skillet, I'm going to show you how to make Western burgers. These Western burgers are not the kind of burgers you find in a restaurant. These Western burgers were made in school cafeterias in the state of Texas back when my grandma worked in them. All right, so you're going to start with some warm milk. You're going to put in your yeast, and you need to put in some sugar. This is going to activate the yeast before you put it into the dough. So what you're looking for is for the yeast to become bubbly. This is going to take about 5 minutes. All right, let's set this aside while we work on the rest of the dough. So now I have a stick of butter in this bowl. This is room temperature butter, so it's softened. I'm going to add in 2 eggs. This is a double recipe for the rolls, so I had to double all of the ingredients. Normally, I would just use 1 egg, 3 cups of flour, 1 cup of milk, but I had to double it for this because my kids love this recipe and they eat up the Western burgers so fast. All right, so in goes my sugar. You have to put sugar in with the yeast and you put it into the dough. And then you're going to add in some salt. So now I'm going to add 1 cup of flour just to get it started. Adding the 1 cup of flour just kind of helps mix everything together a little bit better, especially since we're not using the stand mixer. It helps me incorporate the butter and the eggs. All right, I'm going to add in some more flour. There's 6 cups total because I doubled it. I'm going to do a little bit at a time. All right, so that's over half of the flour. My dough right now is pretty crumbly. So I'm going to check on my yeast and it looks like it's starting to bubble. So that means my yeast is active and alive. I'm going to pour this into the dough. I'm going to give this a good mix. I will probably end up using all of my flour. I don't want to add it in all the way just yet because I want to make sure my dough is at the right consistency. All right, it's starting to come together, but I can see that the dough is still pretty sticky. So I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of this flour. I do have more flour here because I'll need some for my countertop when I knead it. All right. Not all of that flour is incorporated just yet. That's okay. It's getting a little bit hard to do with the dough whisk. So I'm going to put some flour out on the counter. And I'm going to pour this out and I'm just going to start doing it by hand. You're going to want to mix this dough for about 5 minutes. It'll come together and become really smooth. Make sure your hands are very clean when you do this, and of course your countertop. Kneading the dough is pretty easy to do. It does take some arm strength, especially since you have to knead it for the full 5 minutes at least. Kneading it this long helps build the gluten, which results in a softer bread. You're going to know your dough is ready whenever it's no longer sticking to you. Okay, and when you push it in, it bounces back fairly quickly. And I'm going to put this in the same bowl that I had my flour in earlier. And I'm going to cover it with plastic wrap and a towel, and we'll let it set for about 1 to 2 hours. It has to double in size. So my dough is almost ready, so it's time to get the meat started. Just dice up an onion and some garlic. I only ever do rough chops on my vegetables, especially in something like this where it's going to be cooked all together and you don't really see the individual pieces in the onion or the garlic. I like to smush my garlic with the side of my knife before I start to mince it up. To me, this just helps it mince better. All right, and then we're gonna get the meat started. For the filling, all you need to do is brown some ground meat, season it with salt and pepper. We're gonna add in the onions and the garlic towards the end. You'll notice when I'm cooking ground meat, I usually switch to this little tool. It just helps me crumble the meat into smaller pieces and it cooks faster. All right, you're gonna do enough salt and pepper to taste. Add in your diced onion. So I tasted the meat and it needed extra seasoning. I did add in some salt and pepper. I'm also going to add in a little bit of garlic and onion powder. The garlic and onion powder are not in the original recipe. The onions are done. I'm going to go ahead and add in the garlic. Don't ever add garlic and onion at the same time because your onions either won't get cooked or your garlic's going to burn. Okay, I'm gonna let this cook for about 30 more seconds and I'll turn it off the heat, and I want this meat mixture to cool. While you wait for the meat mixture to cool off, your dough should be ready, so go ahead and take the cover off. Okay, you can punch it down. And then what I'm going to do is just take some small pieces off, pinch it off like that, and then you're just going to roll it into a ball. Doesn't have to be perfect. Here in a little bit we're going to roll them out. You want that ball to be just a little bit bigger than a golf ball. And then you set them on a cookie sheet with parchment paper. So this gave me 36 rolls. Some of them I kind of made a little bit big, so I probably could have gotten 40 out of it. That's okay. What we're going to do now is get the meat ready, and then we'll start rolling these out and I'll show you how to fill them. So you have your ground meat. What you're going to do next is add in some mayonnaise. It's about 1 cup. And then you need to add in about a 1/4 cup of mustard. I don't know if I have that much. We'll see. All right, then the recipe does call for a 1/2 cup of ketchup. I don't ever remember putting ketchup in it, so I was going to mix this up first, then taste it, and if it needed some ketchup, I'll add it. Let me taste this and see if it's going to need any. It's actually good without. You can add, I'm going to add just a little bit. Okay, and then you're going to add in some cheese. I'm going to add in cheddar cheese. Mix this up pretty good. All right, and then you're ready to make your rolls. All right, so you're gonna wanna take one of your rolls and flatten it out. I just do it on a plate. take some of the mixture, put it on the roll, and then you're going to kind of fold the ends up on itself, almost like you're making a dumpling, like a Chinese dumpling. All right, this is too much. Gotta take some out. You cannot overfill these. Okay, and then you're gonna take the ends and pinch them together. Just like that. Okay, you pinch them together and then you put this back on your cookie sheet, seam side down. Okay. What's nice about this is you can stuff these with anything. The Western burger is just what I grew up doing with my grandma. She made it when she worked at the school cafeteria, you know, way back when they made everything from scratch. And it is absolutely delicious. We have also stuffed this with pizza toppings, so some marinara sauce, pepperoni, shredded cheese, and you do the same thing. You just fold it up on itself, pinch the seam shut, and then put it seam side down, and you bake it that way, and it's delicious. My kids call those Hot Pockets. So I grew up in a family with a lot of kids. There were 7 of us kids. My grandma, she had 8 kids, and you know, most of them had kids. So as far as cousins were concerned, I probably had close to 50 cousins, it seems like anyway. Definitely more than 20. This was something that my grandma could make for us on a weekend, on a Sunday usually. And it was fairly quick other than letting the dough rise. A lot of times my aunts would be in the kitchen with her, helping her make it. And it's just one of my most favorite childhood memories. If you don't want to make the rolls from scratch, you absolutely can buy store-bought rolls. I usually, when I don't make them, I get the Rhodes dinner rolls. They're frozen. You have to lay them out probably about 5 hours before you're ready to make this. Let them rise. They're already in balls. So you just let them rise, and then the rest of the process is the same. So this is half of the rolls already. I have one more pan to make. But here you can see my grandmother's original recipe. This is in a cookbook from the 70s, I believe. It was one of the old school cookbooks. You know, the ones that people would write in their recipes and the schools would sell them for a fundraiser. So this is her recipe. You can see that she used 6 pounds of ground beef. I only used about 2.5 pounds for this, which was perfect. Everything else is pretty similar. You're going to bake this in a preheated oven at 425 for about 25 to 30 minutes until the tops are golden brown. Here you can see what it looks like on the inside. You can see all of the cheesy goodness. There's so much flavor in these dinner rolls. They are absolutely delicious. My children love them. I think that your children are going to like them too, and they're just a really good comfort food. And of course, if you could please subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it.